Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Felix here with your word on the street. And the book of Hosea, it really stands as the first of the minor prophets in the Bible, yet the message is really anything but minor in significance. Hosea, he was a prophet that was active in the northern kingdom of Israel during the 8th century before Christ, and really delivered a series of oracles that address both Israel, which were the 10 northern tribes, and to the lesser extent to Judah in the south. And his ministry spans the reigns of several Judean kings, including Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, as well as Jeroboam II of Israel. And it situates his prophetic activity in a period that's marked by political instability, social injustice, and widespread idolatry. The central theme of Hosea is the covenant relationship really between God and his people, and it's depicted through a metaphor of marriage, okay? Hosea's own life becomes a living parable, really, and it's at God's command that he marries Gomer, who was characterized by unfaithfulness, and that symbolizes Israel's spiritual adultery through idolatry and covenant infidelity. And this personal narrative is not merely biographical, but it serves really as a theological illustration of God's steadfast love and faithfulness in the face of his people's persistent waywardness. They just drove away from God. Hosea's prophecies, they're characterized by both harsh warnings as well as expressions of compassion. And really, Hosea, he announces these impending judgments upon Israel and Judah for their sins, primarily their abandonment of loyalty to God, and they chose foreign gods. Yet interwoven with these pronouncements of judgment are several appeals for repentance and the assurances of God's enduring love. He made them. Hosea's message, it really gives man 2 points of justice and mercy that emphasizes that God's ultimate desire is not destruction, guys, but really it's restoration. And from a theological perspective, Hosea, he articulates several spiritual themes, including the gravity of sin, how bad sin is, the pain of these broken relationships, and the necessity of repentance and the unrelenting love of God. The book of Hosea, it also reveals the New Testament revelation of Jesus. For example, Hosea 1:1, out of Egypt I called my son. It's cited in Matthew 2:15 as a prophecy that's fulfilled within the life of Jesus. Also, the imagery of a faithful husband being Hosea, redeeming his unfaithful wife, it prefigures Jesus' sacrificial love for the church, showing his redemptive work on the cross. In summary, the book of Hosea, it really offers an insight of the constant biblical teachings really of sin and grace from cover to cover in the Bible, the judgment and the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. The book shows believers to reflect on the seriousness of covenant unfaithfulness, while also it shows them to experience at the depth of God's love, which is a love that it really never changes, even after repeated rejection, guys. The book of Hosea is a vital reflection for understanding both the character of God and the relationship that he seeks with his people. The introduction to the book of Hosea, and that's your word on the street.